Hello. It would happen that Nathan is in the void.
I'm
Well,
just on a piece of paper.
better yet, let's try this one. There we go. We've got Nathan in the right spot.
I was mid portal. I
Yeah.
flew through a portal.
A flaming portal of doom, and Bigsby Loopaloo is here.
That was
Welcome, everybody.
horrifying.
My name is Jared Sarton. I am your dungeon master. We today have Lindsay, Nathan, and Jared on our virtual couch. And I am here DMing. Yes, we all are in some form of costume. It looks like the players are ready to play their characters, and I'm just here as 90s kid number 3.
Perfect.
I think
Perfect.
I remember you from Three Ninjas Knuckle Up.
Oh, well, I'm here. Surprise. Let's talk quickly. You can find each of our players on their Instagram. You'll see their Instagram just below their name. It'll rotate. So feel free to follow our players as themselves. And off to my, screen left, my right, your art should be appearing there. You might see it later. You might not. We had some computer issues this week, so here we are. So if anything else is off and you don't hear it, you don't see it, or we're upside down in weird colors, just let us know in chat. We're watching, we're listening. We do want to say that we are on a long weekend here in the United States because on Monday we are honoring our fallen for Memorial Day. So if you're from the States, hoorah, give a shout out to people you know.
The UK had a bank holiday yesterday.
The UK had a bank holiday. So there's a lot of things going on in the world, but we wanted to shout out those from the States who had served and have family members who had served. We thank you because we're able to do this fun stuff with that freedom you've given us.
Not to nitpick, but Memorial Day is not about the ones who have served, but about the ones who served and didn't come back.
Correct. Thank you for that. And we want to honor the families who have lost loved ones in that. So give a wave, give a shout. We're here. On to other things. We are playing D&D here, and we are on kind of a 5th edition. We're on a little fun side tangent here. You see different names under our players. We're diving back into the Aloan, Bigsby, Rosalind, Kreslin, Rogar combo here with a few of those players. I think I've said enough for now. Visit our sponsors, follow our links, follow us on all of the socials, roll some dice, because here we go. Well, if you look back about 8 months to a year ago, we had some fun on this show where...
Not since, though.
Not since. It's all been serious. It's all been serious.
That was the last time.
Yeah, last time we had the mustache on, we shuffled over a few events. You'd seen Bigsby and his crew hustling towards town, and a big portal appeared over the town. And then I just did some DM hand-wavy stuff, and then they fought a Rakshasa the next day. But we're going to go see what happened between the big portal and the Rakshasa today. So, as the party came hustling from the woods towards the town of Dragonspire, a large portal appeared over town, encompassing about the size of the town. Now, Aloan, Bigsby, Kreslin, and Rosalind were all running together, and they stopped as they came up over a hill and surveyed the chaos that started to happen. As they were standing there, a portal opened up next to Kreslin, a small one, and Kreslin heard a familiar voice beckoning him to jump into the portal before it's too late. Yes, Kreslin had heard the voice. Kreslin, come, quick! I must return you to where you're supposed to be! And as Kreslin continued to hear the voice and listened, and the rest of the party looked across the mayhem, the portal began to shake and flicker and sputter out, and then it exploded. And as it exploded, it knocked all of the party backwards, and time almost went into slow motion. And as it did, portals were opening around the party as they spent what felt like minutes in the air. And as they were all coming to land on the ground, Rosalind didn't hit the ground. Instead, she flew right through a portal. Now, with Rosalind missing, the party is one member down. But as they hit the ground and had some scrapes and bumps, one of the other portals ejected a couple other people. 2 young men actually fell kind of on their faces in the midst of the party and started standing up with a little bit of a grunt each. Oh. Ouch. Ah, indeed. Ouch, my brother. Where on the outskirts of... Who are you? Do you know what's going on here? And the 2 men get up and they're back to back. They look to be early 20s, nothing more. 2 young humans looking around, a little bit nervous.
Do I look like I know a bunch of things about stuff and things and things?
Nope, said one of the men.
Rosalind? Beastly just like looking at Rosalind. Did you see a female elf fall past you through time and space?
Nope.
Okay, you're not being very helpful. Kreslin, talk him with smartness.
Forgive my brother, he's a bit dim. My name is Bradley, and his name is Chadley. My mother had a wonderful sense of humor, but we'll go into that later. Now, we're on the outskirts of town, and, well, we were actually just about to walk into the pub. But it seems things are happening here. Now, with introductions, quickly, who are you and what have you done to our town?
Okay, well, I'm Bigsby Lufalo. I'm a known ranger. I didn't do nothing but help you. I think we was helping. I don't know, someone, Kreslin.
You were helping with the terror that was out in the woods. Yes. I recall. Yes, the guards were speaking highly of you up until, well, a few minutes ago when one of them said, "Oh," and then fell through a portal.
That can't be good.
I remember that as if it was yesterday. Even though it was just a moment ago.
Well, yeah, so that's Kreslin.
Well, where did you come from? Really?
Over there.
Preston's just dumbfounded on his face, like there's more of them. And looking back at Bigsby, maybe Macau J. Fox wants a snack.
No, I mean, he doesn't usually eat people. Don't worry, my fox is not gonna eat you. It's not Kreslin. Stop telling Elwin. Maybe you should. Elves are considered of nice high stature and intelligence. Maybe you should be doing the talking, even though I know you rarely ever talk.
The fox will eat you. You should be careful.
That's not helpful.
Dope.
Okay, Bradley, Chadley, what? Okay, you all were going into the pub, and the portal started to open, right?
Yes, the portal just opened right at the door as we were walking to the pub. Well, it's a good hike that way, and he points, and you see across town there's portals kind of sputtering down the streets and creatures coming out of them and going into them. It seems like a small crowd of creatures is gathering at the town center that you can see maybe a couple 100 yards away.
So you took a portal from over there to over here.
Yep.
And we're
What?
supposed to believe you.
It's
Well,
a
we-
portal.
Yeah, they just popped out, and they know of the pub. Which how would they have known of the pub if they didn't?
Because they're looking right at it. It's right there.
Can we see through any of these portals that are popping? Like, for example, if one were to open up within arm's reach of, say, I don't know, Kreslin, would he be able to see in enough and recognize it to just hop down the road like they did?
Yeah, most likely. the town isn't as familiar to all of you, as the core of the party just kind of met here only a few days prior. But if you do see something, yeah.
I just want to jump in something that is like, even if it's just like down so I can yell back.
Yeah. You have seen partly into some of these portals. You haven't seen very far, and none of them seem to be like of the town. The portal that you do recall seeing the men coming out of seemed to be a bit of the town, but you couldn't quite be sure if it was this town or another.
I'll wait until another town that looks similar in architecture and whatnot, and Crestlin will hop through.
Sounds good.
When I would pop out the other side, quick take a stalk around, and just want to yell into the open air, like, the story checks out.
Yeah, there's nothing that has popped up that you've recognized yet, but the portals are phasing in very quickly. So if I see one, I'll let you know.
Oh, I'm ready for it.
Perfect.
Well, I mean, we can just ask them what town they think they're in.
Yeah, you should answer that question. What town do you think you're in, Brad Chadley?
I am Bradley, and this is my brother Chadley, and we are in Dragonspire. What town do you think you're in, huh? Dragonspire?
They did get that one right. They did that one right, so...
That's news to me, really.
Wait, we are in Dragonspire, aren't we?
Well,
correct. You were in Dragonspire last you recalled, yes. Unless you fell through portals. And Rosalind didn't. Uh-oh. Twist.
No, we're in Lizard Hole.
Okay. I looked the wrong way. Erlewin, that sort of thing is just going to confuse certain people.
Paul.
Gentlemen, out of curiosity, do you have any skills that would be helpful in this sort of situation?
Nope. Forgive my brother. He does not. I have mountaineering, map reading. I also am a very skilled hand-to-hand combatant, with or without weaponry. I do know a little bit of magery, but I do offset it with these. And he pulls out a few vials. These are highly explosive concoctions of my own doing. So, if it means taking on those hordes to protect our city, then yes, I do have skills. If it means conversing about today's weather, it does look like it's a beautiful temperature. The clouds moving across look like we do have a little bit of a crosswind. Forgive me, we weren't speaking too much about weather, were we?
No, I definitely am just now noticing the hordes of people attacking the city.
Yeah, you're now seeing that there's, like I said, portals opening and closing, creatures and humanoids going in and out. But it seems to be a large mass is kind of being built in the center. And it's a very kind of scuttly, scurrying mass in the center. And you can't quite tell how many or whatnot, but it does seem to be like a small army of smaller humanoid creatures.
Like small, like me, Bigsby small, or small, like little baby smallers?
No, small from the distance. You believe they may be something along the lines of like a goblin or some sort, based on some of the sounds you're hearing, the chattering and screeching, and they seem to be forming and like slowly moving up the street as a pack.
Okay, that doesn't look good. I'm just now realizing that in all the confusion. I don't think we can fault me for that. So
all good, all good.
We should go help the town.
Why? What if they're being attacked because they did something to the other ones?
Well, if you do help the town, we do have an armory and we do have a pub, and we can strike a deal with the townsfolk to potentially outfit you for your adventures.
Okay, see, now I like that would be very nice of them.
How do we know that Boozley and Cheesley over here have any authority?
Booze.
That one definitely doesn't have authority, but his brother, there's a chance.
He said he could do it. So why don't we believe him?
Why should we believe him?
Look, and Mick is going, or Bigsby. Mick growls a little bit. Bigsby pulls out his scimitars, and he's like, "Look, we don't know what's coming through those portals. It could be some sort of evil from some foreign land. It could be a bunch of bunnies that we're all going to want to pet together. One way or another, we should figure it out."
I'm in that statement, and I feel attacked personally.
Are you a bunny?
But I came out of a portal.
Yeah, but you didn't come out of the portal to attack people. That was a part of it.
But why?
The two brothers look at each other and just kind of look at the group and lean back to watch the little scuffle.
What's even why the portals right now? What's even why?
That's not my line of work. My line of work is protect people from the things that come through the portals that wants to destroy and eat them.
Well, I just bring them back to life.
Well, maybe we should go bring some people back to life who just died.
I'm into that.
As you begin to look around, the two brothers look at you, and Bradley kind of nods his head and goes, "Well, come on, back to town." And he just starts hustling down the street. He gets about 20 or 30 feet from you guys. He just goes full sprint, expecting you to follow behind, and a portal opens up just off to like the front and left of him. And it's a large portal, and out steps a giant troll and looks down at him and takes like a golf swing and just punts Bradley up and over the buildings. And you see him go out into the forest and land like 150 feet out. Like he just soars.
4.
What? No, watch out!
You're probably going to need to bring that one back to life. But see, cave troll, usually bad.
Well, sure.
Mick! I saddle up.
Well, we go.
There's clearly something wrong with this one.
Nope.
Wait, did the smart one get punted or
the smart one, Bradley, ran off
Dang it,
with his concoctions in hand. No.
Oh no, the smart one got punted.
So now you're stuck with Chadley.
Wait, he was there was a smart one?
Clearly.
My brother.
Not this one. The other one. Look, there's the cave troll. Should we find it? Or do we want to just
That's
get
no
punted
good.
on?
And as you're arguing, and Chadley points out, that's no good. You see the mass of what you believe to be goblins charging at this troll, and you see them starting to like climb up over the troll, and you see golf swings go through the masses, and you see goblins just flying up everywhere. It seems to be a battle happening in the street that is somewhat disturbing. A goblin gets punted your direction, just splats down a few feet away. Whoa, gnarly.
That's I didn't know goblins could be good.
Well, I mean, I don't think they don't necessarily. No, let's look at this.
He's fighting the troll, what you said is evil. What for? My accent keeps changing.
I mean, technically, two evil beings could be against each other.
That's not how it is in the stories, ever.
But maybe this one's like a little different story, like it's trying to break the mold type thing.
What's with the pillow? And he points down at the pillow that Kreslin's got tucked under his arm.
Don't you worry about that.
Okay.
Let's see what happens with these goblins. Is the goblin landed dead?
Yeah, the goblin landed dead. Its face kind of smashed open a little bit as it landed next to you all. Had a nice little splop as it hit.
Okay, look, you all just watch the fight, don't die. Elwin, I mean, maybe, hey, here's a bit of incentive. Maybe if we save the people, they'll give you rewards. Or at the very least, you can rob the corpses of those you kill. But I'm gonna go check and see if Bradley's alive. Mick! And I kind of like nudge him to go. And Mick takes off to Bradley to see if Bradley's alive.
Yeah, as you hustle off into the edge of the forest where you think you saw Bradley land, you get out and around, and off in the distance there's a band of orcs that seem to be like getting in like rank and file, and someone that seems to be a commander is walking in front of them, and you see the group of orcs kind of shoulder up, and they get like a head count. You can't quite hear what they're saying, but it seems like they don't have their full numbers, but they're just kind of saddling up for the fight ahead. So with caution, you're able to kind of see where you think Bradley had landed. You do see a bunch of broken branches through some of the trees. And it seems that from what you can tell, there's a blood streak across one of the trees where he might have just bounced off of. But you do see a couple of the vials laying on the ground nearby, unbroken. You don't happen to see sight of Bradley at this point.
Okay, I'm going to grab those vials very carefully.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going to have Mick sniff out the boy, like go to the blood and be like, we're looking for this one.
All right. Can I get a investigation check from Mick?
Investigation? Would it be perception?
Perception, investigation, or nature, whatever
Okay,
you
cool.
want to roll for the highest.
Cool. He gets advantage on perception. No,
All right.
why did I roll that dice? Okay. 11, okay. 11 plus 15?
15. Well, you send Mick off, and he crawls through the underbrush. You kind of see a tail scurry under a few of the bushes, and you lose sight of Mick, but you see a little hustle here and there in the bush. A few moments later, Mick comes back, and he's got what appears to be part of an arm, and he sets it down in front of you and wags his big foxy tail and looks up at you like he did a good deed.
Does it look like it used to belong to Bradley?
Let's do a history check if you want to see if you remember what Bradley's arms and clothing looked like.
This took a turn real quick. That would be an 8.
An 8. You can't quite remember, but it does look like a human male hand.
Probably
and a bit of forearm.
Recently removed from the rest of it?
Yeah, most likely.
Okay, but that's unfortunate. I'm gonna be like, well, let's just leave that. I'm gonna look at Mick, I'm like, was that attached when you found it? What?
And he looks away.
I'm going to investigate for bite marks. And I roll a 12.
As you look at it, it doesn't look like there's any like shredding or tearing from the wolf or the fox. It does look like it had come off in the other injuries that may have been sustained through, flying 100 and some odd feet and falling through trees and, taking a swan dive.
He's new magic. I didn't know if he knew really good magic. So, I'm just gonna jump back on Mick and say, well, we should probably tell the others about like the orcs, right? And I ride off back to the group.
In the few minutes that we have this happening, Aloan and our friend Kreslin are standing there with Chadley, and Chadley's just kind of standing there, oh, whoa, and just making weird little comments about the fight. Whoops! And he sees a goblin get like tossed up into a wall of a building. Oh, whoops! And he just starts making weird comments. Do either of you engage, watch, or what do you do?
I spend a minute and get myself a goblin animated companion for 24 hours.
All right. The goblin that you animate, his face is a little smashed in, so he can't really speak. One of his arms is broken, and it looks like he's got a twist in one of his feet. You don't know if that was before the splattering or a happy incident, but he's got a nice zombie wobble as he walks.
Yeah, I get him up and I
Gross.
I grab a stick or something if he didn't have a weapon and get like I find some sort of club equivalent if he didn't have it.
Yeah. There's a couple small branches nearby that look sturdy enough for that.
And this one I'll call him Richard.
Aloan, did you need to pick its pockets, or are you good?
Dead goblin's pockets? No, I'm pretty sure he doesn't have anything worth pickpocketing.
You want some bird feet?
This was the one that I put the most expensive jewel in the world on. No.
But I'm just like watching this human and I'm like, so what is the point of you again?
Huh? I don't know. And he just kind of grins and watches the battle. Hey, look, a fox! And out of the forest comes Bigsby and McCulJ.
Where's Smart One?
Smart One. It would have been more helpful if he was Agile One, or possibly one that knew how to fly. Cause Smart One look. I didn't see everything, but I saw blood, and I found these. I hold up the vials. But I think the important thing that I want to get at right now is that there is a legion of orcs forming up in the forest. So
Preston looks at his zombie goblin. A little sad that he could have had a zombie human, but that's okay.
So you're saying this situation is out of our hands and we might as well carry on?
What do you mean by carry on?
I can't even carry things well.
That's true. He's not very good at it. But also, like, when we were coming down here, we were like, hey, let's go help. So, like, I don't know. As I glance at the cave troll and its over swarming of goblins, who's winning? Is it, like, almost a decided fight?
It seems like this fight is one where there's so many goblins that are crawling up the thing and it's throwing them around, and it's not really taking the troll over. At points, you see the goblins somewhat get a bit like covering the troll, and then he knocks them all off. So it's a very back and forth, no deciding who's going to win. As he knocks goblins into the streets and out into the forest and up against the buildings, more seem to just keep swarming. So it's an endless supply on a very rigid structure, essentially.
What are these orcs doing out there?
Oh, they seem to be, again, I'm guessing they came through some sort of portal. They happen to be forming up to what looks to be a small army that will be marching towards the town at any moment. So, are you one of those magicians that could maybe, like, control that troll? And then, like, I don't know, make it work for us? I feel like Bradley maybe could have. Like, I just feel like that was just a missed opportunity for us.
Whoops.
Chadley, were you dropped as a child? I was, but I feel like maybe less than you were.
No, punted.
Oh, your brother didn't survive that.
Oh. Cubert. I call my cube dragon.
And out of the bushes nearby, the cube dragon kind of hops and flutters its little wings a little bit, and it just kind of lands on its stomach.
Can we get like a vivid description for those of us who haven't seen the cube dragon before?
Jared, would you like to, or would this Jared describe it?
I'm
All right.
looking for the picture. I don't know
Well,
where
there is some fan art, or Nathan art. I can't remember. It was Nathan. Nathan
I
did
think it
this
was
one.
Nathan art, yeah.
Yeah, I did this one.
It's in the Discord somewhere. I'm very sure, but it's essentially if you took a baby dragon and you put it into a cube and you restricted its growth in all directions, and it just kind of ate and ate and ate. It's got a nice little pudgy belly that is cube-like underneath it. Its little legs stick out. You can see there's little indentations that it can kind of pull the legs in, front and back. The tail tucks up around the backside, and then the wings you can see come out, and they're very small. They're not large enough to get this thing off the ground, but he still flutters them as he comes out of the bushes, trying to like fly over. And he's only about 1.5 foot tall and wide and deep, so he's very cube-like in that structure. There is a nice, beautiful link there in chat that you can see a rendition of what this cube dragon looks like. But he comes out and he plops right in front of Kreslin, and he looks up at him and blinks his eyes with a dink dink.
Yeah, I want you to fly up high and see how far we are from the edge of town.
Dink dink. He looks at you and then kind of looks up, and you see his wings flutter and sputter a bit, and he gets a few feet off the ground and gets a little wavery. He gets a few more feet.
While he's doing this,
Yeah.
I kind of sigh. And are there any like trees or rooftops really close?
Buildings there, trees there, and Chadley just kind of looks around. Up ahead, about 30 or 40 feet, there's a few buildings at the edge of town here. The center of town looks to be a few hundred yards to where you saw that mass. So you can get up into some of these buildings. The first couple are a 2-story with a flat roof. There's trees behind you and to your sides, only about 20 or 30 feet in any direction. You can climb something.
Okay, well, I'm gonna climb something then.
What something? Towards town, away from town?
What was Kreslin's question again?
Kreslin asked, how far away from the edge of town are they?
Are the orcs?
It was, are they?
Okay, well, okay. Then I'll...
It was are we.
Whatever is the
yes.
tallest, closest...
Yeah, so up to the right, you see that there's a 2-story building that has only about 10 feet up, but seems to be a broken ladder hanging from the roof. And it goes all the way up. So with a pretty sturdy running jump, you think you could get on that and climb to the roof. Otherwise, there's a tree back behind you that might be a bit taller, but it's a very, very thick foliage, so you'd have to climb through that.
Okay, I'll just quick climb up the tree, see if, or the building.
Yeah, can you roll me just a dexterity, straight dexterity?
Yeah.
It'll be a check, not a save. Maybe. Here comes the dice.
No, not good. 11.
11. As you run up and you get a running start and you get a foot on the building, a bit of the building kind of crumbles underneath you, and you're able to get one hand onto the bottom of the ladder. So one more check would be a strength check for me.
10.
10. It takes you a moment, but you're struggling and able to pull yourself up the ladder. And as you get to the top, you're a bit winded and need to take a moment to breathe, as that was a little bit more cumbersome than you expected it to be. During that time, watching that happen, Bigsby, Kreslin, do you do anything?
I'll say to Bigsby, we can just go. We don't need to save the town.
It's kind of...
Town's never saved me.
Who's Rosalind?
I mean, that's one thing. I feel like we should get to the bottom of this, if only to find out maybe where Rosalind went, because maybe she's, portaled to somewhere where she's in danger.
Cool. And as you guys are speaking, and Alohan's making the climb, Chadley looks over. Oh, parkour!
I will admit though, if most of the town is like this guy, maybe we should just.
Yeah. I mean, no one's ever been nice to me, so let's not be nice to these guys.
Not cool, little dude.
I mean, look, here's what it comes down. I kind of like. It's kind of my job to protect things from portals. Like that's kind of my whole thing. So. Okay. You're not helping, Chadley. Like I'm trying to get my team. I'm not usually one that should be rallying people. In case you couldn't tell.
We can go get a beer.
Huh?
Go get a beer.
I mean, I guess we could go to the pub. Hey, Elowen, you want to just go to the pub? Technically, that would get us closer to things. I mean, might get some answers. I mean,
but
can you tell me what I see?
Yeah, Alohan, as you finally catch your breath and you are able to peer over the top of the roof, a goblin gets punted right up past you, and you nearly dodge it, and it kind of grabs out at you and barely catches like your hood as it screams past, literally screaming. But you see the fight just down below ahead of you, and you can see across the way in some of the buildings that there are people kind of easing their way towards the center of town through the buildings. They're wearing fairly like commoner clothing, nothing like a invasion force, but they look to be avoiding this fight. And as you look towards the center of town, you do see the Stumble On In pub at the far end, and in front of it you see what seems to be some figures in heavy metal armor opening the door and ushering people in, and then slamming the door shut, pulling up their shields and almost kind of putting a barricade on the front of the building. And there's a few people fighting out in front, a couple small figures. You think they might be goblins or other agile little creatures, nothing too huge near the pub, but there's some battling going on there, as this seems to be a safe haven.
Okay, so but like how far is town? Do I see the
Yeah,
orcs?
so
Like
what you're sitting essentially at the south end of town on the very first buildings on the edge of it. The road's only about 25 feet wide. So there's a few buildings across the way, and as you look towards the center of town, buildings get a little bit more close together. What seems to be across the rooftops here is they're all fairly flat. So you could probably move across a few of them. There looks to be a fight on a rooftop on your side of the street, about 3 buildings down. But you can see down this road, it leads up to a fountain in the center of town. And then just off that fountain has a few small shops. And right behind the fountain is where you see this pub. That distance is about 180, 200 feet. But the roads are completely in chaos with fights.
all right, I go back.
All right.
Them and I'm like, it's really not worth it. It's like chaos. You can't even get through the streets down there.
Well, dude, I want to get real close to to Bigsby, and do I still owe that in money for when the big hole was there?
I mean, technically, look, yeah, probably.
Well, what if I look over at Chadley? Do you have any money?
He reaches into his pocket, pulls out like 4 silver, beer money.
I mean, pub sounds fun.
It's no, they barricaded it.
So you're saying it's safe inside?
You're not gonna get inside.
What about the floor hole?
There's so many people in
It's
there.
a floor hole.
Floor hole.
They're probably shoving everyone in it to fit them all in there.
Bixby looks at Mick and is like, "What is? Do you want to just like go fight some things? Like, there's a lot of things that we could go fight, and we could just let these 3 just." and he's like, and yeah, I mean, you're right. You're right.
As you two are conversing, he stops for a second and puts his nose up in the air and sniffs, like he catches a smell that he recognizes. And the breeze comes up the road just a little bit towards you all, and he looks down the road and looks around, and kind of points you down the road as if he recognizes maybe a food or a person or something that's enticing him in town.
Well, Mick wants to go to town, so I'm going. And Bigsby's off.
Dude, use cover. And Chadley points out off to the left where the buildings start. Aloan had gone off to the right side and climbed up the building, but off to the left you see a couple people like crouched down and crawling behind one of the buildings. And there's a bunch of bushes over there. Off to the right, you see very similar, but you do hear a couple screams and some clanging of metal off to the right side. So you've got potential good cover or potential fighting cover.
So I'll just like kind of veer Mick in that direction and continue bounding off.
Left or right direction?
The safer one.
The safer one, off to the left. Alone, that's where you had seen some of the people kind of moving between and around the buildings a few moments ago. And off charges the fox and leaves the three of you and the goblin behind. Not the three of you being Bigsby, but the three being Aloan, Chadley, and Kreslin, and their goblin friend.
I mean, I'm going to follow after him. I'm not one to make decisions on things we're doing, so...
I was like, calls me the smart one and chooses to listen to a fox anyways.
Idiot.
Finally, something we agree on.
Come on, zombie goblin guy who I named Richard maybe. Let's go.
Come on, Dick. And he just runs off. So as you're all hustling towards the left side, you do notice that there's a bunch of bushes to kind of get cover behind. It's fairly open up to the forest, a good 20 or 30 feet between the bushes and the edge of the forest. The bushes aren't something you're able to like get up behind and just walk nicely through town, but it gives you cover to move between. You seem to be on the backside of a few homes and shops. So there's a couple windows and doors that allow entry if need be. One of the doors is kind of swinging open as if it had either been left unlocked or left opened. On the first home, there's some glass that you kind of see in the grass up on the second building as if something had come through a window. And that's what you get to see at the start of this. And Bigsby, you're in the lead. What do you wish to do here?
I mean, I'm kind of I want Mick to kind of follow his nose. He's the one who smelled something, so
yeah.
I would be like, hey, find whatever the reason. What is it, boy? Go and find it.
Now, as you're running up and you get next to the first building, Mick sniffs and puts his nose in the air and looks at the building and looks ahead, and he starts to run up towards the second building and puts on the brakes, almost throwing you off the front of him. And as he does, he backs up just a little bit, trying to get up towards the bushes in the first building, and an orc gets thrown through a window right in front of you and goes sliding onto the grass, and he stands up and lets out a roar and stomps back in towards the building, and you hear some yelling back and forth, two very loud gruff voices in building number 2. The rest of the party is able to get up and sees a little bit of what happened as Mick was a little bit ahead of the group. And Mick just kind of stays frozen there in the bushes of the first building.
Okay, buddy. And Simtars. Is this what you smell? Do we need Do you need me to go take care of those guys? You want to do that together?
This doesn't seem to be what Mick is leading you to, but he's a bit nervous of what might be in building number 2. As you get up to the front, the rest of the party catches up. Is he talking to a fox?
What? Why did you stop?
Mick doesn't like the smell of what's coming from number 2.
From number 2.
Mick doesn't like the smell of number 2.
Gross.
Does anyone?
Duty.
Like, I'm in the second house.
What's going on?
Duty's shack. And you look up and there's a sign and it's DOOHDEE, and it looks like a trader's shop. There's a few bags on the sign. He goes, Duty, number 2. And so that's the second store, or the second building seems to be a store, a little merchant. As you're all kind of stacked up on the first building, you're able to peer in the window a little bit, and it looks like a small home, or at least the back side of the building is a small home.
Yeah, I would like to kind of sneak up there and see if I can see why Mick is so scared.
Of building number 2. Please roll me a stealth.
Okay. 14?
14. You mildly clumsily get up to the door and take a step onto the stoop and peer in. And as you peer in, this shop seems to be all torn apart and things knocked over. You can't quite tell what they had sold. You do see a hammock hanging in the front window. And then on the floor, it seems to be a couple small pouches and feathers just kind of floating through the air as if they had been ripped off of or blown out of something. And you hear the voices, "No, it's me! Now it's me!" And for a moment there, you seem to think it's someone arguing with themselves. But as you peek a little bit further in, there's 2 orcs standing at the shop countertop where the sale might be made. And they're arm wrestling. And you get just a good enough look to not be sure the difference between the 2 orcs. And then one of them goes, "Huh. What do I hear? Oh, I hear it too." And then they continue to arm wrestle and are looking around at this point to see if they can see you, but they don't catch sight. They just are aware that something's close.
Can I see where he went to?
Where
Bigsby snuck off?
Bigsby went to? Yeah. Bigsby, you can see he kind of went around a little bit of a bush by this back door. And you can't quite tell if he went in or if he's just kind of peering in, but he's just at the building up ahead. You're at building number 1, and building number 2 is where he had seen all this happen.
I want to walk up to where I believe Bigsby went.
Okay.
And if I can't see him, look around for a second.
Yeah, you walk up and you see him kind of peering through the door into the shop, standing on the stoop.
What you doing?
Inside you hear voices. I hear voices. What is that?
And I just look at him, I'm like, apparently I'm fighting 2 orcs.
Well, you wanted to fight things. I'm just helping.
I know, but on my time. And I'm gonna jump into the shop. I'm like, "It's Bigsby Loofaloo, you ugly mugs!" And
As you jump into the shop, both of the orcs turn and look at you, and you notice that their bottom left tooth / fang is broken in almost the exact same pattern. They have a scar in the same pattern across their right eye. There's actually a tattoo kind of down their neck and chest that is almost identical. And as you see that, and they're arm wrestling, they both look at you and they size you up a little bit. "Oh, we'll deal with you later, runt. We're just seeing who's the toughest." And they're huffing and puffing, and one puts a hand on a dagger, and you can see the other put his hand at his side, potentially on a dagger as well.
I don't mean to interrupt this clearly important battle of strength, but do you guys know how much you look alike? It is uncanny.
It's me. No, it's me. No. He's me, I'm him. Yeah. And they like say the same things over one another, and they look at you, and they both look at one another. We'll deal with you later, they shout in unison.
There's only one way to determine who's who, and it's to tell me the one thing that only you would know.
As you say that, the rest of the group is hearing some back and forth with Bigsby at the door and some yelling of these orcs. Chadley walks forward. What's up? And he leans in. The orcs look at the now 3 men in the door. We'll deal with you later. If you want to fight. They look at each other. We'll fight, but we have to finish this first.
Power Rangers are coming.
No, what's the sitch? What's the stitch?
As a weird noise pops up behind the group, a small portal opens up, and Kreslin, you spin around hearing a weird noise, and you see this little portal go bloop, 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 and open up in front of you, and you peer through, and the portal is only about big enough to put a head and maybe an arm through, but you see what seems to be Rosalind on the other side of it, and she's smashing a staff down into a goblin chasing at her, and as she hits the goblin, she goes, "Oh, sorry!" And then she throws a fuzzy ball out of her pouch that she's got with her, and it turns into a creature and starts attacking another goblin. And there's a couple other fuzzy creatures like bouncing around with her in this battle, and you barely see that behind her. You see like a crest with a red dragon head on it, and it looks fairly familiar to the pub that you had made some destruction on, and then the portal closes.
Ooh. Rosalind gets to fight things. Why can't we fight things?
I want to fight. Look, gentlemen, can you figure out this whole thing so that we can just, like, I'm getting bored.
Get him, Richard.
Aloan, are you standing back? Are you leaning in? What's going on with you?
I'm like
back there?
waiting on the door frame. I'm just
watching.
like, this is.
As the command for "Get him, Richard" is said, the little goblin zombie goes lumbering in, and with his good arm, he just smacks one of the orcs on the backside with a stick, and you hear a nice loud thwap. And then you see that orc starts losing the arm wrestle just a little bit, and he puts his other hand on the goblin and is like swatting him out of the way. I said we'll deal with you later. That's cheating. And then the winning orc just kind of lets out a little grunt of a laugh and just stares at the losing orc. And you guys are watching what seems to be two of the same orc fighting, and one of them is actually winning at this point.
Wait, you said that an orc flew outside.
Yeah. One of the orcs has a cut on his arm that the other one doesn't. That looks fresh, and there's some blood running down it as if they were in a fight. You do notice a little bruising on each of their faces as if they actually got into a fist fight and now have ended up
We have to
arm wrestling.
solve something.
Uh-huh.
We have a mild magic scroll to pull.
Okay.
Thanks to Cadence, being it says to cause injury or death to Kreslin.
Oh, geez. Well,
And
mild magic.
Cadence also let us know that he is the new hype boss.
You
So
are.
please assign that nat 20 to your player of choice.
Liability.
So I have drawn a scroll here. We will see what it reads. Thank you for your tip. We can get tips that affect the game. That one actually does not apply here. I forgot to
It's
remove
the
that one.
2-year anniversary of us hanging out, Cadence. Come on.
Aw.
3-year anniversary.
Wow,
So
you didn't even know the years. Maybe it's good he gave it to me.
Well, a pandemic kind of sidetracked things.
bits
Maybe
bits
he got
and
you
tips.
something else.
Oh, it's in the mail, is what I'm hearing. Bits and tips do affect the game, so thank you for that. if you become the new hype boss like Cadence, by taking out Cadence now, you can assign a nat 20, not just a d20 roll. It just becomes a nat 20 on player's choice or DM's choice if they have that. So it's basically like advantage, but you know you're getting a 20. We do take bits and other donations, so have fun with that. And this scroll from the $5 tip here is player inspiration. It looks like it goes to Aloan. Aloan, you have player inspiration.
Can you elaborate?
Yeah, inspiration essentially allows you to use a dice roll as an advantage roll. You can only have one at a time, and there should be a checkbox right up in the top corner of your app that says you have inspiration.
I thought I saw that.
Yeah.
In somewhere.
So we use a bunch of fun tools. Oh man, that's the thing I missed. I was gonna say you can take a look at our character sheets. You'll get to take a look at our character sheets in the second half because the D&D Beyond plugin was not adjusted for all of our stuff here. So you get to see our character sheets in a little bit. But we also use Encounter Plus. Take a look at them. They're great. They're an app that I use to run the game. Now that I've stalled us here, we've got inspiration. We've got our nat 20 assignment. And we've got the zombie goblin smacking at one of the orcs' bums with the stick. And that orc is starting to slowly lose the arm wrestle.
Where did you two guys come from, by the way? You two orcs that we're going to fight in just a second.
I was outside with you.
They turn and look at the group and in unison yell out, "A portal!"
It's a portal.
Was it the same portal, or did you come from two different portals and therefore you are from different dimensions?
They look at you and at each other and look at you again. There can only be one of us. I don't care what dimension. Yeah, I don't care either. And they continue their arm wrestle. Apparently, they didn't come from the same place.
I'm figuring this out. Hey, did you say that Rosalind was nearby?
Oh, yeah, well, I saw her that when I stuck my head in that portal. I saw her fighting with maybe some bunnies. Bunnies and goblins and smashing. It's over at the inn. They fixed the hole.
Oh, it looks like we got some point redemptions. Thank you for those.
Penguin.
Penguino.
So big.
That's what she said.
So for those of you who are only listening in, we do have point redemptions here on the Twitch stream that allow you to do things like let us boop the snoot of the puppies on stream, or give the puppies treats, or unlock emotes or other useless things. But the one most useful part is letting Nathan enjoy his favorite snack, which is vegetables.
Keeping Nathan healthy.
Keeping Nathan enjoying his favorite snack. And so Nathan is crunching away at carrots. Thank you to Penguin Witch Doctor. So I'll let him provide the Foley here. There it is. That beautiful point redemption, crunching one bite at a time. Now, Kreslin did say that Rosalind is nearby, maybe fighting at the inn with bunnies and goblins.
Sorry, I have to try the new channel point reward.
Oh.
Forgot about it.
Survive, Nathan. I believe in you.
No.
It gave me the hiccups.
Oh. It's Boop the DM. Thanks. Thanks, the real Gobshite, for the Boop the DM. Slow motion here, Lindsay, if you wish. No. There it is. Point redemption from the real Gobshite. Thank you for watching in. There's another one. What? Oh.
Welcome to the fun, Jared. I've got lots of points. I can boop this all day.
Oh, please say that we have that on a restriction time base.
No
like the
restrictions!
mouse. Oh,
Jared,
no.
don't restrict it! We'll
No,
spend 2
no.
hours doing this.
The rest of the show is punching the DM.
Rosalind was in that portal, fighting, either fighting or hugging goblins. Don't remember. But she was in an inn. I know that much.
Well, you should probably go over there. I got the
Now-
hiccups now.
You've got the hiccups now. As you're looking around trying to get over to the inn, what you do see is a fight happening up out in the clearing between the trees and the buildings, a good 30, 40 feet ahead. And it seems to be two large creatures, one that you believe has hooves, but a torso of a man as well. Another that seems to be like a bull on only 2 feet, and you see creatures that you've never seen before. And Bigsby, you've seen quite a few creatures in your life. It kind of is astonishing as you hear the clomping and thudding, and they're fighting at the edge of the forest. Seems that portals have dropped off even more interesting things. So as you're standing there, Chadley kind of looks around and leans in to Aloan. Horse dude. And he points out the fight going on.
A horse dude?
Yeah. It seems that there's a minotaur and a centaur fighting in the grassy clearing up between the next couple buildings, potentially blocking you off that way.
I go, horse fight!
It stops briefly and they kind of look towards you and then they just start duking it out some more.
I don't really want to be here. There's a lot of portals.
Remember when it was just like one portal at a time?
Yeah, let's get Rosalind and go somewhere.
Well, you said the pub, right? So I guess, gentlemen, you just continue what you're doing. I've decided not to fight you and show you my greatness today. Mick, come on!
Wait!
And then we
And as you start to turn, a dagger flies and lands right in the tip of your boot and sticks it down. And then another dagger lands right next to it and like kind of lodges your foot in place.
Oh.
Which of us is the real one? And they're huffing and puffing and fighting, and it came back to almost a neutral position. There could only be one.
I told you, the one who would be real would know the deepest, darkest secret about the person, because the other one wouldn't have the memories. So tell me on 3 the deepest, darkest secret. 1, 2, 3.
You see them eyeballing each other as they understand that this could be dark, and they both stand up straight as soon as you hit 3, and they turn and look at you and drop their arm from the arm wrestle, and they both yell out, "I killed my," and then you hear "Flama!" Like it's 2 words that get mashed up, and then they look at each other. Did you say you killed your father? And the other one goes, did you say you killed your mother? And then they just start duking it out, and one of the orcs reaches down to grab something in the rubble and pulls up a pillow and just blows it across the head of the other one, and it bursts with feathers. And at that point, he uses a few like dirty tactics and just starts wailing on that orc. And it turns into a tussle, and you can't tell who's who at this point. A book goes flying past you all, and a few pieces of rubble come flying out. One just bounces off Chadley's head, and he goes, ouch.
I would like to pick up the 2 daggers that are keeping my boot down.
Yeah,
And add them to my collection.
You get 2 daggers. They're of an orcish steel, so you get a +1 on each of those daggers. But the problem is they're fairly heavy for you, so you're going to roll at advantage to attack. or disadvantage to attack. So
Disadvantage.
you'll roll at disadvantage, but you'll gain extra damage when you hit.
I'll allow it.
So there you go.
Come on, Richard. Let's go. Let's go.
At this point, the zombie had lost his stick, and he's actually dragging a small bag next to him, and he's swinging it out, just making sure he can get through like the feathers in the air. Up ahead, there's another building you can get into, and Chadley goes, "Cellars. We used to drink booze under there." And he points, and there's a couple doors that go under the building, and then there's a swinging open door on this next one. The Minotaur and Centaur are still fighting about 40 feet out from where this is at, paying no mind to you at this moment.
Is this because Kreslin didn't come up from when they dropped down into the hole under when the zombies broke forth long time ago?
A different town.
Different town.
I was wondering what you're talking about.
I don't know.
I don't remember Bigsby ever doing that, but this dude in his portals, I'm just gonna go with it.
Yeah, look, there's a lot going on inside. You don't know. Don't judge me.
It's fine. I'm not judging you. I'm just laughing.
Remember, I killed my dog.
Oh no!
Accidentally.
So did that guy.
We don't know if it was.
Well. So wait, you said something about cellars?
Is there some reason to go down there?
Rum?
Shortcut.
Why did the other one have to die?
Rip.
You mourn very interestingly. I'll say, I mean, if we go down in the cellar, they might be connected. Are the cellars connected, Chadley?
Yeah.
Well, there you go. That's free passage to get to the inn without having to go through the town where the horrible things are all attacking each other. How am I the one to figure this out?
Because it's not in the books.
It's not in the books.
I'm learning it. Let's go.
What?
I'm opening I'll open the cellar with my good arm.
Can I get a strength check?
Yeah. Oh. So I just threw a die, bounced over my tray, off my desk, rolled to the back, and now it's buried in cable land.
Oh, you're never finding that one again.
17 on strength.
17.
Yeah.
Kreslin, for once in your life, you just huff and puff and throw the door open faster than you thought. And it swings and bounces off the hinges and kind of slides away in the grass. Whoa. Destruction. All right. Rum.
After you?
Cool. And he hops down, and you see him like fall down a few of the steps. Stands up. I'm good.
I just want to Elo and Bigsby. I just want to. Should we just go somewhere else? Should we just go somewhere else without this guy?
I mean, as much as I want to, I feel like, again, this is the easier route, and seeing as you two don't really seem to be in the fighting mood, I feel like we should go this way.
All right, come on, Richard. I follow my goblin down the stairs.
Come on, Mick.
The goblin rolled poorly on his dex save. He goes tumbling down the stairs, and then stands up with a similar hop and turns his head just like Chadley did, and lets out a wave with his one good hand.
Did the fall reset his ankle?
No, the ankle is still twisted in a very awkward direction.
It's further now.
Well, Cresslin's gonna hold the railing when he goes down because it seems to be the most dangerous staircase in the world.
Yeah. You don't have to roll anything. The rest of you, do you follow on in, or do you...
Yeah, I'm gonna follow in. I'm also gonna hold the railing.
Yeah, I step on the stairs.
You step on the stairs?
But do you hold the railing?
But do you-
No, see, do you know how many germs are on that thing? And I just saw all your hands just touch it.
With Aloan's dexterity, if I recall correctly, she
could
I was
roll
about
one.
to say, shouldn't I have rolled in
could roll
acrobatics
a
on that building
one.
climb?
Oh yeah, you probably should have.
Yeah, then I wouldn't have had to work so hard. I was like, that doesn't make any sense.
She could roll a 1.
She could roll a 1.
Yeah, but I'll
But-
still get a decent number.
She'll still get a decent number
But it's
because
still a 1.
yeah, but on checks, it's
Not
not
on
a
checks.
crit fail. It's just a very
Not-
bad roll.
At the beginning of the book, it says, do the rules the way that it would be most entertaining for the fans.
For the fans.
For the
Oh,
fans.
I forgot we had the Twitch edition of the D&D books. Brought to you by Twitch. And everything that you do, there's rolls.
I rolled a 24.
Okay? But now
Can
we
you
know.
explain? Do you like grapevine down them, or you do like a Fortnite dance, or how do you get down these with your 24?
It looks like I just kind of float. I just...
So you
Because
like?
I'm an elf. I'm so graceful.
you go.
Like, you don't even notice I'm moving. You're like, wait, how did you get... Wait, what?
I mean, the edges of your special
Mist cloak.
mist cloak just kind of ruffle a little bit, but you hide your steps and you just hover
I'm
down.
so stealthy, too.
There you go.
It just is like, wait, what? Wait, huh?
There you go.
That's what
Magical.
it looked like, but were any of us looking?
No, at this point you were looking around. Chadley had called out that there was rum down here. You see a couple casks in the corners and a door off in the back of this room. It's a very musty old cellar that doesn't seem to be getting much use, mostly for storage here. There's a door back behind you that looks like it leads back towards building number 1. And with that, you're able to continue forward if you wish.
Or do that?
You do.
Mick.
With Mick. As you and Mick walk up to the door, it seems to have no lock on it. The handle turns easily on the door and allows you to enter through if you wish.
Yeah, I mean, I'll keep moving.
There you go. As you keep moving through, you peek into the next room. It's very dark in there. These are some underground cellars that are storage spaces between some of these buildings. Bigsby, it doesn't really seem to bother you much, as you're not really a person that spent a ton of time in town. You're much for the forests, correct?
Yeah.
But for Aloan and Kreslin, it seems a bit odd that there's just free passage between all of these buildings. And probably in the back of Aloan's mind, she's thinking, wow, the things I could do with free passage between shops and homes and other places too, you know.
I mean, Cresslin's
Buy
lived in
or
a
steal
crypt most of
things.
his life, so it's all weird.
There you go. Well, Aloan at this point is getting plenty of ideas how she can probably pull
Taking
one
notes.
over on the town.
I cast light on Hubert.
Hubert kind of finishes his roll down the stairs and bounces up alongside of you and is glowing in the middle of the group. Do you wish to go through this next door then?
I'll let Chadley go through first.
Okay. And Chadley walks forward and opens the door. Whoa! It's a room! And he walks in, and you hear a bit of a squish and a slop, as if he steps into a little bit of like mud or slime below in the next room, and he goes kind of around the corner and out of sight. Oh, it's dark. Hello? Hello?
Maybe.
Guys?
Following. Yeah?
Yeah.
We're coming.
And as you move forward and the little dragon nightlight hops forward and splats into the mud too, light gets cast across this room, and it's actually quite a large storage space here. And you look across it, and there's a bunch of boxes and casks and various things. It looks like a shared storage space for some of the shops in the area. These things are piled in certain manners that allow you to see that one's got a sign that looks like it's very old and worn, kind of claiming a pile, and then another is claiming a shelf. There's a nice, beautiful stack of pristine boxes in the back.
I want to go look at those.
You recognize there's some Elvish writing on the sign. It's very dusty.
What does it say?
As you walk up towards it, you see it looks like a surname. This is a good 20 or 30 feet in, and the surname that you notice is that it seems to be a royal family that you're not quite sure of which one, but you've heard the name before. Something in a land near where you grew up. And with that, you do notice that there's a few other signs, but this set of boxes is in the best shape possible, and it seems to be on a little raised platform out of the rest of the mud and slop that's down here. In the boxes, you're not able to pry any of them open. They're shut tightly, so if you wish to, you can do some checks on thieves' tools or strength. There seems to be a few locks on a few of them.
Well, what do you want me to use to open them?
One of them has a padlock on it. Another one is just like seemingly shut very tightly, so you can either use strength to try and pry one open or
I'll
thieves'
start with the
tools.
lock.
All right,
That's probably the best
let's
one.
do your roll.
What do you want me to roll?
Thieves' tools.
That is going to be a 23.
Well, that broke my DC 20.
Yeah.
So with breaking my DC 20, you're able to open this padlock, and the lock makes a big clunk, and it echoes across the room. And the room is silent, and then you hear, dope. And then with that, you're able to pull the lock out and lift the top of this container, and inside there's what seems to be hundreds of empty vials on the left, and on the right side hundreds of filled vials with little cork stoppers, and all of the filled vials are glowing a very light pink, and it casts a pink glow into the room from the case.
Are they labeled? Do I know what they are?
No, there's no labels on this. There's nothing that you see except there's a small little manifest stuck to the top of the lid. And on that you see in Elvish empty vials and explosive on the right side. And there's check marks and a few names scratched on there like they had gone through some quality testing and whatnot. And it counts out there's 500 empty vials and 500 explosive component vials.
I'm going to take 5 of them and just slip them into my pack.
Okay, so you have 5 explosive component vials in your pack.
And then I'm going to close up the box again.
Right, as you close the box and the pink glow goes away, you hear a voice. Whoa, what was that? The rest of the group, do you do anything?
So there's the main room, like the little ancillary room, and then this side room, right?
Yeah, you came down into a small room that had a couple casks in it, and then this seems to be a larger storehouse room. You went down a slight slope. The ground is a bit muddy. There's a bunch of shelving and piles of things that seem to be sectioned out by some of the local shops. Aloan broke into it seems to be a haul from an elven shop that may or may not exist in town. You don't recognize any names of any of these things. There is a pile of casks at the far end by the door that has a branded dragon's head on them as if they might go to the inn.
Can I open the other box?
Wait your turn. I'm giving the rest of the party some things to do.
Yeah, Crestlin will go over by the other barrels, and he'll say, Well, it seems like this might be a common storage area. Several places. So it would make maybe sense that it connects. So maybe your hunch was right. Bigsby. Lufa-Loo, you've done it again.
Yeah,
Now help me
pretty
with these barrels.
amazing.
Help me with these barrels. These
Okay,
ones. With the dragon.
what are we doing with it?
Move it. I can't lift them.
Oh, okay. I'll help.
What are we doing with barrels? I'm interested.
I don't know.
Apparently,
I
Lift
don't
the
know.
barrel for me.
A gnome and a halfling attempt to steal a barrel of what seems to be an aged rum as you get close and see some markings.
wait, are we taking this? I thought you needed to move it for some reason.
Well, I thought it was in front of the door a little bit.
We nudge it to 2 inches out of the way from the door.
Yeah.
You nudge it just a little bit, and then the door that was right next to it creaks open just a couple inches to show that you can gain access to the next room. Lowen is eyeballing the boxes in the corner with the elvish writing and drooling all over the floor, essentially.
What? No, I'm not.
She's like, can I open the
Get it
box? Can I open the
together.
box? Can I open the box? Okay, let's do a strength check on opening the second box. Hello, Lolo Birdie.
Strength.
It's sad that you're not here. You fell through a portal. Sorry. You're all right, though.
Apparently, you're kicking butt, and we're just walking.
Yeah.
That's all
We got some follows, so I want to shout out some follows. Thank you for some of our new follows. And I do see a Simple Matter in there, and if I believe I know who that is, Maddie, good to have you here, bud.
He totally earlier said him and Maureen were listening in and having a
Aw.
great time and said to keep it up. And I didn't
Trolling.
even
He's
realize.
trolling us. I know him. So what was your strength check?
16.
16. You stick a dagger in and you pry a bit, and the lid barely creaks open. It lets out a bright blue glow as you do. But you feel a very strange, like, numbing sensation where the light hits. And almost like if you were to have an arm fall asleep, it is instantaneous when the light hits. You feel that sensation kind of on your hands as you're prying open the container, and a little bit of your side as it catches, even through your clothes. It kind of makes a burny, tingly, numb sensation.
I want to keep opening it.
My eyes! And you see Chadley like stumbling around as the light had hit him in the face. From a distance, he blinks. He goes, "Oh, I'm good." Ew.
What?
Gross. And he says, "Ew, gross," and you hear a splotch, like a sound as he like steps into something. Ugh. Sorry, dude. And he steps away and walks back towards the center of the room into the light from the little dragon.
Did you step on the cubert?
No.
Wait, what did you step on?
No, dude in the moss over there.
I'll go look at whatever that is.
As you start to walk that direction, you hear a sloshing sound and kind of a groan, and a large figure rises up a bit, and you see a couple of faces in it, a skeleton and a fairly, not fresh, but only been dead a couple weeks, body kind of decaying, and an arm kind of swings out, and it's got a few extra bones in it. It seems to be part decaying flesh and part like moss and slime. And it stands tall and lets out a big guttural roar. And at this point, we're about to go into break, but we're gonna roll for initiative before this break.
Come
So-
on.
Did I do it? Ooh.
Did I figure out what the blue glow was?
No, you weren't able to crack the thing open, and it kind of fell shut a bit. Like it's got a hold that's keeping it tightly bound. So you can do a check again in a bit if you need to. Let's go through our initiative order. So, at the top of the order, we have Kreslin.
4.
Oh, sorry, Bigsby. How did I get that list? 4 for Kreslin. Bigsby.
Well, beat him. I got a 6.
6. Lowen.
I guess I kind of overdid it. I got a 22.
22. All right. And let's see. We've got a Chadley in here. All right.
Do you need Mick as well?
Oh, yeah. I thought Mick was on your turn, but if he rolls separately, then we'll take it for sure.
Is the Goblin and Cubert on?
The Goblin is on Kreslin's turn. Cubert is.
Cubert
I mean, we
doesn't
can have him on
really-
Kreslin's turn, but he doesn't really fight. He's a little baby dragon.
Yeah.
So we can see if he does anything on Kreslin's turn.
He's a red dragon, though, right?
And
Yeah,
then what
but-
is Mick?
He's like legit. He's more of a pseudo dragon than a
Uh,
real dragon.
Yeah. What is Mick's roll?
Mick is only a 5. I'm
Only
going
a
to be
5. Wow.
going away from those dice as they rolled a 2
Wow.
2 times in a row.
Okay. So.
There's that.
Okay then. Well, we'll start our first round and see what happens before we go to our brief break. As a heads up, we'll be taking a 10-minute break here in a little bit. During that time, you'll see some of our sponsors. Do take a look at them. I believe they've been rotating through our chat. They're a great group of people, creators, and artistic minds that provide some cool stuff for you guys as we do giveaways. We'll have another one in probably a couple weeks. So keep an eye on our socials for that. At the top of the turn order with a whopping 22 compared to everything else here, Alohan.
I saw the thing was there. I heard it.
Yeah,
or-
you heard the roar as you couldn't quite get the box open, and you turn and you see this mound of slime and decaying body and whatnot, creating this monster, a hulking mass.
And so I guess I have to turn around.
Mhm.
How far away is it?
From you, it's about 25 feet. The room is about 50 feet long and about 30 feet wide, so it's basically on the other side of the short end to you. Everyone else is probably about 10 feet away. It's right behind Chadley as he turned around and started walking into the room.
And how tall is this guy?
This creature stands about 10 feet tall. It's kind of rubbing up on the ceiling.
Okay. I want to use my I want to use my movement to run up and attack with my short sword,
Okay.
like at his knees, because that would be kind
Yeah,
of
there's
about my height.
knee-like structures. Yeah.
Yeah. And so I'm gonna slice at those, and then
Please roll to hit.
Okay,
Okay, fine.
it's so technical. It's an 18.
18 hits.
And that's gonna be 9 points of damage.
Mhm.
And then
Slashing, correct?
it's a short sword, so
Yeah, slashing.
And then I want to use my cunning action to hide behind,
So you're just
Like
gonna
barrels
kind
or
of tuck behind
something.
it or something. Okay.
because there's a bunch of barrels and stuff.
Okay. Well, you are able to tuck behind a barrel right next to it, essentially, as you get a slash in and drop right next to it. It's within arm's reach still, though.
Is there a lot of moss and stuff in here?
No, there's a little bit on the wall where this thing had pulled away from, so it's mossy and kind
I
of
think
slimy
I
in
can
here.
still use Mask of the Wild against that, right? Yeah, only slightly obscured. So
Okay, so you're hiding behind this barrel right next to it because there's moss and things near you.
Mhm.
Perfect. We'll allow it. This is a fun show.
oh, and I was the closest one, right? Nobody else was near it.
Chadley was a few feet away.
Okay.
So he's probably 2 arms length and you're within
So
arm's length.
I get to deal an extra 3d6 damage.
because you're the closest one?
No, because I have a sneak attack.
Oh, yeah, he's close enough.
But oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's
have an
within
ally
like
within.
an arm's reach
So
or
that's
two.
an extra 16 points of damage.
Oh, an extra 16 points from sneak attack. So, okay, well, thanks.
Oh, and I didn't even use my inspiration.
You can do it next turn. Don't use it all in one go. It's Chadley's turn, and he stands there and watches Alolan go rushing past him. Turns around. Ugh, gross. He looks around and pulls a small dagger from his side and just kind of hucks it at the thing. Yeah, that's not gonna hit. It bounces off of the wall behind and drops to the floor near Alolan's feet. And Alolan, you see that it's a very rusty dagger. Something that it's like you might be whittling wood with, and that's about it. You wouldn't even fight with it. He goes, whoops. This monster reaches out and engulfs Chadley, and yep, it pulls him in, and you hear, oh, and so it like kind of wraps the moss and slime and bones up around Chadley and kind of pulls him right into the mound there.
No, stop.
Oh,
Don't.
darn. Bigsby, it is your turn.
Man, I gotta save that guy. Bigsby runs up. Scimitars! Swing, swing! As he runs up, during that movement, he's going to... Where is that ability? Did not take the time to figure out where I put things.
You
on
can
my
do it. I believe in you.
I would like to use my Slayer's Prey as a bonus action.
All right.
Designating the creature. Boom, boom. First time I hit that target with a weapon attack each turn, it takes an extra 1d6 of damage.
Perfect. All right, so what are your rolls?
Okay. Now, technically, if I'm dual wielding blades,
Mhm.
I get to use both of them with one attack.
Correct.
But if I am at the level where I get an extra attack, that would mean I'll get 4 attacks?
Yes, but as you do your attack, you need to roll one with proficiency and one without proficiency based on handedness.
I have the dual wielder feat.
Oh, well then yeah, you get to slice out with 2 of them twice, it seems.
Full power! Not like it's gonna help much! Where did that go? Where are you? Where's my attacks? Who knows anymore? There it is. So one of them is a 17, and then one of them is an 11.
17 hits.
17 hits. So that will be a d6. Well, 2d6 because I get to roll an extra 6 because of the Slayer's Prey. So that will be a total of 14 damage. And then I get to swing the 2 of them again. Will an 18 will hit? Will a 13 hit?
A 13 does not hit, so you get 1 hit.
One more hit with the blades, and that'll be another 10 points of damage.
10 points of damage. You'd go slicing back and forth, and bits of moss and a cracked piece of bone kind of falls off of the thing. We get to our extra in the scene. Let's see here. The doggo. The fox. Sorry.
I was like, Astra's not
Astra's
here.
not here. It's the fox.
There's always a dog here.
There's always a dog of some sort. And if not, the DM's going to make sure there's one.
I have 2 on the floor.
McCall what does McCall Fox do?
McCall J is going to run up and assist me because that is what McCall J is so good at. And because of Does he have pack tactics? Oh no, he doesn't. Darn
No.
it. He's just a regular fox that is super sized.
It's the supersized fox.
You bought it at Costco.
Does Mick have lucky, or is he a halfling fox?
No.
Why did I pick this dice back up? You're banished. You're banished, dice.
I'm
Mick
guessing that was a
rolled
one.
Mick rolled a 1.
So Mick runs up and he slips and slides on some of the sludge, and he actually bites your arm.
Dang it, Mick!
Does let's see here. He does 4 points of piercing damage on your arm as he bites down and slips and falls, but he quickly releases before like really latching in. So he bites your right arm as he comes up on your right side.
What are you doing, man? I'm not that thing!
You did hear a bunch of like skittering as his paws kind of got out from under him. But yeah, a bite doesn't feel good.
He's uncomfortable.
It is just a little bit.
From my closest friend?
From your closest friend, yes. Ouch.
I thought
Now we
I
go-
was your closest friend.
Well, Kreslin, it's your turn to respond.
I'll save you. I'll save you, Bigsby. And Crusty's gonna run in and try to grab the moss thing and cast Chill Touch.
All right, let's do this.
It is a 26 to hit.
That utterly misses. No, it hits. It definitely hits.
I did it good. Okay, now 2d8 damage.
And because Chill Touch isn't actually cold, it's what, necrotic damage?
Necrotic damage, yeah. It's a total of 12 necrotic.
12 necrotic damage. Yeah, so you reach out and this like ethereal hand grabs onto the creature, and I mean the creature's full of death at this point, but you do see bits of moss like turn black and drip off of the arm a bit as you see the necrotic nature climb up the body of this thing. And as it does, one of the others in the room, your little goblin friend, hustles up, and he's got a bag in hand still from the store that you were just at. He swings with it, and he actually hits, but because it's a bag, it doesn't do much damage. He hooks it on a bone and kind of pulls a little bit and rips a bone out and does a little bit of damage as he comes swinging up very mindlessly and pulls a bone just kind of out of this beast. And with that,
Is that his new
Good
weapon?
job, Richard.
that is his weapon currently. He's just,
No, his new weapon is the bone he pulled out of.
I mean, we'll see. We'll see. He's got a bone stuck in the bag a little bit. And we're going to go on break for about 10 minutes. We need it. We need water. We need sustenance. So we'll be back. Nathan's going to fill up on veggies so that way he's got them ready for all of your point redemptions. Do listen in. We do have a few of our shout outs to our sponsors here, but you do the same. Get off the couch, get off your chair, take a breather for a few minutes, and we'll see you in 10 minutes where we will continue this battle and figure out all of the shenanigans happening in town. We're sorry that we didn't get all the notifications out. I'll look into it on our end. Otherwise, technology. See you guys soon. Oh no, my button's not working. I have to manually click it.
Can't
No!
hold this forever.